If you're searching for thrills, but things are a bit of a letdown, and you're in over your head and feeling overwhelmed, don't start climbing the walls or sneaking away. Instead, sit back and start laughing at life's funniest moments. We've got bouncing baby boys and kids wrestling for toys, teens on the net, and carts that get upset, curious girls, and desserts that unfurl. All on life's funniest moments. All right, drop and give me 5 sets of chuckles. It's athletes. Phil was so glad he had this moment on the ice captured forever. Phil is the cameraman. Little Janet's advanced early job aptitude tests determined that she was best suited to be a pilot, a cheerleader, or a #1 best career choice, professional bungee jumper. This new physical IQ test is amazingly accurate. It examines a person's potential not based on how fast they climb over the net, but on how long it takes them to realize they could just walk around it. Though it was Rodney's first time skiing, he quickly understood you need balance, good form, proper equipment, and snow. When you take up speed skating, you have to get used to something. Speed bruising. Mrs. Gunderson got upset when she first saw this video, though it finally explained those footprints by the overhead light fixture. Later, she felt better when she figured out how to attach dusters to the boys' socks before they started climbing. George should have guessed about the poor quality service of this car rental company from their slogan, "We're number 56. We barely try at all." What makes you go ho, ho, ho? 'Tis the season. Timmy's plan to pose as an ornament so he could see Santa slide down the chimney was not off to a good start. This year, instead of milk and cookies, just leave him a glass of water and some aspirin. Watch this video carefully and see if you can spot the exact moment that Louis winds up on Santa's naughty list. Correct.
can't wait for Santa.
The dog is so excited.
No, 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 no. No, Jake. No, it's not Christmas. Jacob?
There's a present for him under the tree.
Jacob. Whose present do you have? Jacob. No, drop it. Let's see.
He just knew there was a Santa dog. Coming up, a man finally sees the light. And a speed dating disaster. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. Put away that expense report. It's time for Child's Play. Little Ronnie may be laughing. But actually, he's learning an important life lesson. Dogs will eat almost anything. That's it, Billy. You show him who's boss. That's right. Tune in for this and more on next week's episode of The Gerbil Whisperer. You gotta give the little girl credit for not screaming. But then she had a frog in her throat. Yes, this was a disruption of the wedding ceremony, but you can't blame little David. When they made him the ring bearer, they should have made it clear it wasn't a toe ring. Did you know that champagne is a French word that means look out? This kid loves his gift of underwear, but who can blame him? He's got superheroes on his. Why, when we were kids, all we had were scratchy labels. Sure, Kitty saw the sign that said, "Beware of dog." But here's the thing you gotta remember. Cats can't read. Little Sarah heard something about brides having cold feet. And wanted to check for herself. When the boy realized the groom was giving up playing in the mud, fooling with frogs and spending the weekend riding bikes, all for a girl, he had to do what he could to stop him. The baby is wondering, what's it going to take to get these people to realize that he's no electro-pop music fan? Oliver was willing to be patient, but still, he had to admit he was looking forward to when the bath towels finally came out of the dryer. Well, she didn't get any good shots of the swimmer, but she got an 8 from the Russian judge. Get ready to laugh up close and personal. It's Life's Funniest Moments Unplugged. These folks are having a great time celebrating. But the person who's celebrating most of all? Their dry cleaner. What you're watching is step 1 of Lucy's plan to make a totally embarrassing video of the dog slipping on a peel with a little help from her friend Ethel. There is no greater feeling than reaching out and helping a child. Even if it means the ski patrol has to help you. I don't know if it's déjà vu, but something about this event definitely rang a bell for Mike. Somewhere along the way, this cat went from one more bite to night-night. It's safe to say this guy's dance card is filled. You're looking at exclusive behind-the-scenes footage at the Rock and Roll Academy's first class Getting the Look 101. Seems like a lot of work. Who knew this was how you got a wild rocker hairstyle? Coming up, a jump becomes a slump. And a peeved pooch who loses his patience. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. Feel the inner smile. It's stress relief. Buster waited and waited and waited until finally he got the results in the mail. And surprise, surprise, he didn't pass doggy discipline school. On this week's episode of Fibbley's Believe It or Don't, the cowboy cat of Calvaris County. This honky-tonk tabby rides the range and rounds up herds of deer, while also raising chickens, trading cattle, and running a dairy. And she does all this by herself without hassling a single hen or stealing a squirt of milk. Believe it or don't.
Oh my gosh.
She's gonna stomp it a lot. Look, she's stomping.
Bucky here really doesn't want anyone filling up the holes in the garden. And can you blame him? He just spent 3 weeks shoveling them in the first place. And it's going to be a real hassle to dig him up again every time he has a hankering for a brisket bone. Wow, look at that guy catch some serious air. You know what's the hardest thing about extreme biking? The ground. Let's see those choppers. It's chow time.
Love spaghetti, but also love sleep. But love spaghetti. But love sleep more.
You know why there are 2 cats eating cat food out of the old sneaker? So if one cat passes out, there's someone to catch him.
Now here's my 2 big babies. The one on the right came to see me for 7 years.
Why did these raccoons put up with hearing this woman's long stories?
I do believe he weighed 40 pounds
Have you ever tried fresh peanut butter crackers?
for the winter. And
They're delicious.
down there on this tree, and he'd go up and eat those sunflower seed that the birds, we had out for the birds, and I'd go and I'd call him Biggin, and he got where he would come to my voice, and I'd feed him cookies.
He'd come sheening down that tree and come over to
Yes,
us.
yes. And this, I think, is his son, because he was the second largest coon I've ever seen, and he's only 2 years old here. But he didn't survive. I never saw him again.
They say that dog is man's best friend. But as far as Bowser's concerned, The jury's still out on this little girl. Would she settle for a strong acquaintance? Okay, how about close neighbor? No. Bridge buddy? Housemate? What about play date? Yeah, she's gonna be okay with play date. Coming up, a dessert debacle. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. Here, Walter is showing his delicious dessert creation. Creamy, sweet, tasty, and not too sticky.